Gunners TV with your man Robert Wills. It's a match day preview. Arsenal away at Crystal Palace. Here in Uganda, it's a beautiful day. It's a wonderful day, and this match will be at 10 p.m. That's the East African time. It's a really nice place, and everything is wonderful. All the sports bars are just warming up for the match. And this time, I'm joined here with the Big Steve. Big Steve, welcome to the Arsenal fans fort.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, it has not been easy all along. Actually, for the past seasons, visiting Crystal Palace. Last season, we managed to come up with a win, and that was opening match. And this time around, it has come as a second match. How do you see this play coming out?
Robert, if you to note last season, many of the pundits across Europe looked at that game as a very big test for this Arsenal team, and Arsenal managed to come up on top with a 2-0 victory. The thing with Crystal Palace is about their physicality. They're a very physical side. They have big lads in there. Look at their defense. They have the likes of Ward and Mitchell. Those are big lads at their back line. The midfield is also covered by huge people. You have Dokore, then you have the skillful Eze. Those are all energetic guys, and that's how Palace plays out their game. But Arsenal, I think, came up on top that day. And we as the fan base are really buzzing for today's game as well. I think it's going to be a replica of last season's game. Very physical, very intense, and we are really buzzing for it, and I think we are ready for the game.
Okay. Yeah. You mentioned being a physical match. Being a physical match, when you look at our squad, how do you see Arteta tactically approaching that game really?
Tactically, I really don't see very many changes from the previous team. Maybe what I would like to see from Arteta is the change of system. But I think all the other departments will remain the same. I think we are anticipating the return of Gabriel in defense. I think his physical presence will be very vital for this game. If you look at the huge striker up front, the big guy, Edward Odson, so I think you need that physicality of Gabriel at the back line to try and match him up. Then, of course, I think one of the biggest battles is going to be at the central midfield, Thomas Partey and Doucouré of Crystal Palace. So I think those are the two areas actually where this game will really play hard, at the defense, then at the middle of the park. So I think either team that has the best battle in those two departments, I think will have really a good chance to get a result in this game. But I don't see so many changes. I think Arteta will maintain his shape up front. So we are waiting to see whether Trossard, Kai Havertz, or Edin Ketia are starting up front. Although I would fancy Edin Ketia for this particular game. He may not be a big lad, but I think his runs behind the defenders and his hold-up play is a little bit different from the likes of Kai Havertz. So personally, I would like Edin Ketia to start up front. And of course, we maintain Martinelli and Saka at the wings.
Okay, thank you. Now, concerning this really particular match, where do you see the Arsenal strength versus Roy Hodgson? Because Roy Hodgson is a really big name in the Premier League, and this guy is an experienced coach. And when approaching him, you have to be really with a maximum strength to crack him down. You know.
I think Arsenal's strength for the last couple of years has been in midfield. And I really think even for this particular game actually, I think Thomas Partey, Declan Rice and Odegaard must be actually at their best today if they are to match that midfield of Crystal Palace. I think that's where Arsenal's strength lies. Once that midfield gets climbed on, I think Arsenal will have a torrid day at Selhurst. So I expect Thomas Partey, Declan Rice and Odegaard to be at their best. Then of course the two dangerous wingers, Bukayo Saka and Martinelli, if they come on their day, I think a lot of defenders will never have a party. So I think that's where our strength lies, in the midfield and the wing play. Once Odegaard is brought into the game, he can supply the two wingers. And I think the two fullbacks of Crystal Palace, Joe Ward and Mitchell, I think they will have really a difficult time to handle. the likes of Saka and Martinelli. And Nketiah running through the channels, yeah, I think that's where our strength lies.
Yeah, also I believe in that because ever since Arsenal, how I began to support Arsenal, I've been seeing that our strength lying in the midfield. Even I remember that time of Invisible, the same thing. So that has been the culture of our club. And now in the same way, uh, when you look at our players, those on the bench and those in the play, which one would you prefer, for example, when it comes to the left back between Tierney and the Nketi and the Zinchenko?
It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one, but we've seen Arteta being a little bit of a stubborn coach, so to say. I think once he decides on a particular type of player for his system, I think he will stick to that. So with Julian Timber out, I think his automatic replacement is going to be Zinchenko. Zinchenko has been training throughout the week, although we don't know his fitness levels right now. But I think Mikel Arteta, with that system of fullbacks inverting into the midfield, I think he will put in Zinchenko to play at that left back position. Personally, because it's going to be a really physical game, I would like to see either Kieran Tierney or Tomiyasu. Not because I don't like Zinchenko, no, but because it's a physical game. I think defensive-wise and if you having that physical prowess, I think the two fullbacks, Kieran Tierney and Tomiyasu, I think they will, between them, I think it would make a good choice for Mikel Arteta. But as I've noted earlier, I think he will stick to his formation, and I think Zinchenko will come in for Julian Timber, who is injured.
Now, earlier you mentioned about that defense, Crystal Palace defense being a solid one. So really being a solid, so we have to look at a sharp strikers or sharp forwards that will manage to penetrate through those walls. Who do you think that will be the best ones?
Again, that's a very tricky position. I think with Arteta currently prefers Kai Havertz in his system. You don't know where he's going to play him, either up top as a false nine or maybe just behind the front three. So we are waiting to see how that front three plays out. Definitely, we know the wing players, Saka and Martinelli. I think those are guaranteed of their places. But up front, personally for this game, I would like Eddie Nketiah to play.
Okay.
I think we don't have a better finisher than Eddie Nketiah.
Okay.
His hold-up play is fantastic as well, and the way he runs through the channels, the way he bounces off the defenders, I think if Odegaard is on a good day, I think he'll manage to pick up Eddie Nketiah. I think he's a better player up front right now with Gabriel Jesus out injured. But I think as the game goes on,
how do you see our manager Arteta lining up his forward as well? Give us your prediction for today's match.
I think in goal, Aaron Ramsey will maintain his position.
Yeah.
I think at right back, Ben White. The two centre halves, I think Gabriel returns alongside William Saliba. I think Arteta will prefer Zinchenko at left back. Then we shall have the double pivot of Declan Rice and Thomas Partey, with Odegaard playing just up front or in front of the two holding midfielders. Then Bukayo Saka on one side and Gabriel Martinelli. Then I think Kai Havertz may start this game actually. Okay. I think Arteta will prefer Kai Havertz, although personally I would love to see Eddie Nketiah starting up front. Yeah. I think with that lineup, if we are to approach Crystal Palace the way they would love to approach us, I think this time we have the bodies. We have the physical players who will match the big guys, the Bukoros, the Marquez, and therefore the big guy, Edson Edward. So I think Arsenal it's going to be a real battle, especially in midfield. Yeah. And of course our defense has to be also on top of their game. Yeah. Don't forget Michael Olise, the guy who has secured his contract extension. Yeah. So our defense must also be at the top of their game. But I'll really fancy Arsenal for this game. I think we are most likely to see a replica of last season's result. I go to nil Arsenal.
Thanks. Now looking at, because me, the only challenge that I'm looking at is if manager Teta this time does not play Partey on the left and on the right back, then he brings it to the defensive midfielder, and as well the selection of Tierney and Zichenko. That if he makes a right selection, but I would prefer Tierney because Tierney he has been there and he is fit. The other one is from the injury, so I see that Arsenal will pull out the ball right out, and that will be 2-0. Yes, 2-0. So, Mr. Steve, it has been wonderful being with you here, and all of our fans outside there. All we have to request you is subscribe to our channel, as well share the video, like the video, comment,